Okay, so it's a snow day in Tokyo and it's cold. So for tonight, I'm having friends over and I'm going to make lasagna. I love lasagna, my kids love lasagna, and I'm also freezing cold in spite of the fact that I am in my house. So I'm going to have a little bit of wine to keep warm and I'm going to make lasagna. So I'm going to add the garlic powder to the beef. Moving on, I also have a little bit of onion powder that I like to add. Flavor the beef. You're going to season the tomato sauce as well, but it's good to start with flavoring the beef. So the beef is done. I've let a lot of the meat burn off as well as any water that was in here. So I'm going to add, now if you're making this for 2 people, I would do a smaller amount of meat, and I would probably do only 2 of these. But again, I'm cooking for 12 people tonight, so I need a lot. I'm just getting the last of the tomato sauce. You don't actually need to. Okay, now you're going to season the tomato sauce. So I always add garlic powder in this scenario. Quite a bit because you have a lot of sauce that you're seasoning. Hi, Cole. I don't actually let my kids use technology. This is just fake. So add some salt. Onion powder, always good. Oregano, definitely oregano. And this is some thyme. Don't overload the thyme because thyme is pretty
valuable.
Okay, so now you're going to mix all of this together. And then you are going to start layering your lasagna. So we're going to start by layering your pan, and you can obviously do this a lot smaller. Now I go for as many layers as possible because I like nice thick lasagna. However, you don't have to do that. You can only do 2 layers or 3 if you'd like. Make sure the pan is covered and spread out the sauce. It's very exciting when my local Seiyu started to carry these noodles. You can buy them at the liquor store, but they're a little bit more expensive than Seiyu. So I bought this box for 698 yen. Quite a reasonable price for where we are. Now, you're going to notice that I'm not actually cooking my noodles before I make the lasagna, because you don't actually have to. I'm going to add a little bit of extra water to the noodles to make sure that it works. But mostly it's not actually necessary to add to actually cook the noodles. So every lasagna has some kind of a white sauce in it. This is my mom's recipe, which may or may not have been her mom's recipe. I'm not actually sure. So today I noticed for the first time at Seiyu that they were carrying this, which is a cottage cheese that's actually pureed. So you have to cover the whole thing, so I suggest getting this or getting one of these, 2 of these, unless you're making a very small portion, in which case one of these will suffice. Okay, so this particular mixture adds, because I'm doing such a large quantity, 2 eggs. Normally it's just 1. The cottage cheese, I add garlic powder. Okay, so I've grated some fresh Parmesan cheese, also available at Costco or Seiyu store. I know that for a fact. Okay, you're going to mix this up. And then you're going to spread it out over the noodles. Okay, so spread it out on both. Try to do it as even as possible. Can you seriously go ask Daddy? Mommy's busy right now. Okay, so I actually have 4 kids in my house. They are all mine, yes. And they were all mostly planned. So I've added another layer of noodles, and I'm going to continue to add noodles. I actually have 4 kids, so oftentimes as I'm making dinner, I have a lot of interruptions. And it's kind of frustrating, but the daddy around here does a pretty good job of assisting me and or at least turning on the distraction of the TV. Okay, so I have 4 children. So I have 4 children with a ridiculously handsome man who refuses to come on camera because I'm not really sure why. But all of my friends say, "Ooh, your husband is so fun." And I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, so I have 4 children with my ridiculously good-looking husband. He loves being told he's ridiculously good-looking. It's one of his favorite things, actually. We have 2 girls and 2 boys. And we live in Tokyo, Japan. And people always ask me, how do you do it with 4 children? And I'm like, well, I like entertainment and fun. And a good way to have entertainment and fun all the time is to have 4 kids. So yeah, I do recommend it. You too should try it. If you're thinking about it, do it anyway. Alright. Okay, this is the last layer of meat. I think I've managed to do about 5.
Go to the toilet.
And I'm going to spread it out.
Go.
And add the cheese. So add the cheese. Don't do this.
Okay.
Maybe not that much.
Maybe not this much cheese. Maybe. Okay, so I also did some fresh grated Parmesan, and I'm going to spread it out over the top. It's going to be so delicious.
It's gonna...
Okay, now I'm going to put this in the oven for about 45 minutes.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, lasagna. It's very hot. It's hot. Is all done. That's what it looks like. Nice and browned. And I recommend letting it sit for about 5 minutes to let everything settle. Alright, well that's the lasagna episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.